Michigan football was penalized for some crucial targeting penalties last season. And this season, we've seen a UCF and Penn State player ejected in games against Michigan. And even this past weekend, a Michigan State player was ejected. So do you guys have an issue with the NCAA's current targeting rules?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I appreciate that the NCAA is looking out for their players. The concussion problem is big, and it's only growing every year. The NFL doesn't even have this rule to protect players. Cam Newton got lit up in the first week, but at least the NCAA has targeting in place to protect players. I think that's the number 1 priority. Now, that being said, I think there's some player ejections that aren't warranted, and they need to extend the rule they need to be more critical when they examine these plays. So if you throw the flag and you think it's targeting, but then after the review, they should be able to say, hey, I'm not sure that that's really targeting. I don't think the intent was there. The biggest issue I had was the Penn State-Michigan game. Penn State linebacker Brandon Smith he's trying to catch an interception, not even trying to light up Grant Perry, but Grant Perry's crouched in his little 2-foot box because Grant Perry's a small guy, and there's a little bit of helmet-to-helmet contact. They threw the flag. They even reviewed it, but they didn't overturn it. So I think that they need to look into the rule a little bit more, and I think every year they're going to improve it, but it's not there yet.
And so the big problem right now is just concussions in general, both the NFL and the NCAA. They're trying to protect their assets, which are their players, and at the same time, they're trying to make the games both fair and fun to watch and play. The basis of football is a gritty, tough game. It's not sweet and simple, and it's not cute and cuddly. It's hits. And so when someone gets hit in the head, it's a serious issue because we're seeing these things that are happening with science to people's brains after they play the game, years and years after they play. The things that happen to them physically are terrible. And so the NFL is trying to stop that from happening. With the movie Concussion coming out, it's just getting bigger. It's just starting to kick off. And the NCAA has to find a line, which is where do you stop, when is this incidental contact? Is it an accident and they just bump heads? Or is the person trying to physically hurt another person and hit them in the helmet? So
these ejections, they can completely change the game. You take out one of the star linebackers, or in Michigan State's case, it was Malik McDowell. That's a huge impact on the game. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, certainly a fine line. I watched the movie Concussion as well. Really changed the way I looked at the game, actually. It's a fine line with all the research coming out. But so we've talked about the